Does your mom know you're watching this show? We are back. Welcome everyone to the Wednesday night live show. We've begun what 2 weeks? 2 weeks, guys? 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Three. Holy shit, a whole month. Almost a whole month.
I know.
God, how do they get by without the show for 3 weeks? I feel sorry for those people. I mean, this is such an educational show, right, Deana?
We all love drinking, and so did I.
Yeah, I've learned so much about sex from this show. And I can't wait to use it. I cannot wait to use it. Kevin's back. Kevin, welcome back, Kevin. He look all smiles. He's got his little 4-leaf clover hat on. Is it?
And a shirt with his own name
and
on
the shirt
it.
And so I don't forget my own name.
He doesn't forget his own
It
name.
must be hard to spell it, so I'm sure that needs to be brought up.
Yeah. I mean, I have a hard time spelling Kevin. Now that the shirt, I can see it. I'll be able to.
The back has my last name, which is much harder.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yes, it is.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Deana. The thing is, Deana, he's wearing a hat with a 4-leaf clover on it, and I know Mr. Kevin is an Italian. He's a Sicilian, and he's wearing an Irish hat. What is wrong with you?
All right, it's a golf hat. It's a golf hat.
It's a golf hat. I was going to hit you with "Che sei pazzo." You know what that means, right? Yeah.
No.
Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Che sei pazzo?
How about a che cazzo?
We are back, and like the intro stated, this show is rated R, and we promise by the end of the show you will learn something. I guarantee you. Today's show, pretty good topics. Why marriage doesn't work, and is it outdated? So I'm kind of curious how you guys feel about that. I kind of get it, and then I don't kind of get it. I don't know if it's just my my mom in the back of my head screaming at me, that you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to get, your whole. Kevin, probably the same way. I mean, your parents like, okay, you got to go to high school, you got to graduate, you got to go to college, you got to meet the girl. You got to get married. You got to buy the house. You got to have the 3.5 kids. You got to buy the 2 cars. It's like they planned out your whole life, right?
Yeah.
And Deana, for you, I mean, was that like we're all Italian right now on the show? Hey,
yeah.
Hey, So I'm guessing we all kind of had the same mom screaming in the back of our heads, telling us that you had to follow this certain route in life and where you should be at a certain age and how many kids you should already have, and So was it like that for you?
Like unofficially betrothed by the time you were 9? Because my parents had picked out a husband for me by the time I was
they had the dowry already made out, Kevin. They're like, yeah. We found this a good boy.
10 grand in 2 goats.
Yeah, we're gonna get you married. He's a good boy. He got a face like a donkey. He got a face like a donkey, but he's a good boy. He's a good boy. He'll work hard.
Boy. He shows up to church.
Kevin froze in the perfect freeze, so I can't wait to use that. That's so fucking Dago. He froze Dago. You froze like this. You froze exactly like this. It's perfect. I'm going to use it as a thumbnail, man. I swear to God.
What is going on with my internet today? Wow.
Yeah. And then our second topic coming from the millennial crew down there, the 3 most common reasons guys lose interest and ghost you, according to a guy. I have my reasons, so I'm kind of curious. I was going to read the article and I said, don't read it. I'll wait for Deana to do it and then kind of share, my spontaneous thoughts to what I feel is ghost-worthy material. Yeah. And then this was the weird news, and I found it so funny because it's Elon Musk is involved in this too, because he's the person that is sending the internet all over the world and in the Amazon forest and everywhere else. So a remote Amazon tribe finally connects to the internet, only to wind up hooked on porn and social media. So we're going to get into what else is there to do on the internet, right? You got your porn, you got your Facebook. You got what else? Really? What else?
It's not that's
What
the only
else
thing
is
on the
there?
internet.
What do
But
you need?
that's definitely the most pervasive thing on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Other than that, maybe to keep in touch with family, right? Like if you're here, they're there. You know, like me. You know, it's a great way.
Oh, but I mean, come on. Everybody who doesn't know the answer to anything Googles that stuff.
Yeah,
That's all the internet. Wikipedia. Like, if you ever want to find the answer to a dumb fucking question at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're going to Google.
yeah, yeah. And now with the way they're doing it with the AI thing first, that comes up first, the AI version first or whatever, it's gotten interesting how they do it now. So when you type in something that you're searching, you get this slow response thing that comes up, and it's AI answering. And then of course you have the websites. Have you noticed that change?
I haven't been on Google in a while, but I got a
Oh,
funny
okay.
story about AI.
Yeah. Because so now, like when you go to Google and you open up the Google search bar thing and you type in what you're searching for, the first thing that comes up is AI. AI generates
Mhm.
whatever answer for you, but then you have to scroll down now to get to actual links and websites that are discussing that whatever you're looking for. I think it's kind of cool because you kind of get your answer a little quicker now than having to go through maybe 4 or 5 websites before you finally get your true answer. But yeah, so that is available. So we're going to go into that. So what do you guys? I'm kind of curious. What have you guys been doing since you had the 3 weeks off, Kevin?
Oh man, so there's been a lot. So I went to Georgia, picked up my daughter. I was down there for 8 days. Um, Looked at apartments, and for the last 2 weeks, I've been like putting together my plans to move down to Georgia.
Damn. Have you had anybody walk up to you and say you got a pretty mouth?
No, because I don't have a pretty mouth.
You'll like Georgia. Tim, my good
I
friend
hate
Tim.
Georgia. I hate
What?
Georgia so much, so much.
Man,
Better
but
than
think about
fucking the Midwest by a long shot.
yeah, but think
What?
Most of
about
the
it. I mean,
Midwest.
look how close you are to everything in Georgia now. Because you were up in the Midwest. You were up towards Chicago, correct? In that area?
Yeah, I'm like 25 minutes out of Chicago.
Yeah, and where you were close to Canada and a bunch of lakes, right? That's about it.
Yeah. I
Be
don't like
honest.
outdoorsy stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know if you know this about me, John, but I don't like outdoorsy stuff. So like being
Uh,
by
uh,
mountains and ocean and beaches, you can
uh,
have it all. You can have it all.
you got it. You're just a couple. You're like 6, 7 hour driving to Disneyland now. You're in perfect area, Georgia. I don't think they have any weird weather, but or maybe they do. I'm not sure.
They get a little bit of they don't get weird weather, but they'll catch like the tail end of the uh what the
a
hell are
tor-
those things called? Not
hurricane.
tornadoes, the big
Hurricanes?
ones over the ocean, hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
Yeah, that's that thing
Tornadoes.
that goes over the
That
ocean.
I put them
Them
both together.
tornadoes.
Tornado.
That's a Midwest
Uh,
thing. We get the tornadoes. It's hilarious.
have to.
But yeah, they get the tail end of that a little bit. But other than that, no, nothing. But so the problem is that I am moving like 2 hours outside of Atlanta. So I'm moving from
Uh,
like being by a city to the middle of nowhere.
yeah. And that's different too. And if you haven't lived those two different lives, it is very different. I remember growing up in South Philly and being walking distance to everything, convenience
Yeah,
store, the movie
yeah.
theaters, the supermarket, your
Well, and
friend's
everything's
house.
always open.
Everything's always open. Yeah. And then we moved to Modesto and it's like, yeah, the closest store is 6 miles away. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
There's
everything closes at 10 o'clock at night.
yeah. No, I did enjoy that. The last time I was in Philly, and I walked out my cousin's door, and there's like a fucking grocery store right there. There's a fucking convenience store right there. There's a fucking alcohol or their liquor stores, which I had to get used to. That I was like, yeah, that's a liquor store, and you can only buy hard liquor in there. You can't buy hard liquor in a supermarket. I was like, this is weird, you know. Uh, and Gina, what have you been doing for the last 3 weeks?
Oh Lord. Getting drunk? Is that an answer? That's a good answer. Getting drunk.
I don't
That's my
know, but
answer.
your audio is horrible. What is wrong,
Is
Dina?
it? I don't
Horrible.
know. Is this better?
No, it
No.
sounds like you're talking underwater.
No. Really?
Hello,
It's
dark.
the same
Yeah.
mic. I moved everything around. Hello.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Hello.
Hello, darkness, my
Are
old
you using the right
friend.
mic?
Yeah, it sounds like you're not using the right mic.
Oh, it's trying to link through my headphones. That's why. Hang on.
We're having technical difficulties right now.
Wait, no.
Deana's audio. Please give
All
us a
sorts of
minute.
technical
And audio,
difficulties.
and Deana will adjust her audio perfectly in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Now she's got no
1,
audio.
0.
We should have left it alone, John.
Wait.
Deana did not fix her audio in the 5 seconds that she was
Oh,
allowed.
every
So
time.
we will do it in 10 seconds. Get ready, everybody out there, for it will get loud in 10,
Better.
9, 8. That is much
All right,
better.
we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
That's
better.
Better?
But better or butter?
Yeah, that's
we
better.
don't know. It's butter.
Butter.
better.
Butter. Put
So
some
better
butter on
butter.
it.
What was that commercial? The
Frog.
better butter.
Fraud.
Was that
Frog.
parquet?
Fraud.
Susie sells seashells by the seashore.
Sally sits in her slip, sipping Schlitz.
I was going to go into my Andrew Dice Clay little rhymes, but we can't do that on the show.
No.
All right, let us begin. Wait, yeah, how's your week go? What have you been doing, Deana? What have you been doing?
Drinking heavily.
Did you get married?
Fuck no.
That is a hard no, everybody. Anything else? You didn't do nothing for 3 weeks. You had 3 weeks off. You did nothing.
I got really hammered and cleaned my house.
What we need,
I'm
Kevin?
a very boring person.
You know what we need to do, Kevin? We need to both fly out there and show her a good night. That's what we need to do. I think Deana needs the boys to come out there and hit the 40 fucking pubs that are within 10 miles of her house. That's Wisconsin.
That is the only thing out there.
And have her work her magic with the guys in the club, so we can sit there and watch her do the ass sticking out thing and how they all just flock.
I knew that
to
was
her.
coming up.
Hello, boys.
You know I only talk about that with you guys. Come on.
Remote Amazon tribe finally gets connected to the internet, only to wind up hooked on porn and social media. Thank you, Elon Musk. Thank you, Elon Musk. Yes. A reclusive tribe in the Amazon finally got hooked up into the internet thanks to Elon Musk. Only be torn apart by social media and pornographic addiction. Elders are complaining. The elders are complaining. So
of course they are.
Yeah, they're like, hey man, you're not supposed to have sex that way, you know.
Well, people always complain when their way of life starts to die.
Yeah. I mean, I can kind of get it if it were maybe like advancements to the tribe. This isn't an advancement to the tribe. I don't think the tribe are learning anything.
No,
if this is
evolving.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it if they're like, oh, okay, the internet is taking away some of our customs or our ideologies and or stuff like that. But it's porn. They're getting mad because it's porn. So,
I recently decided that the worst thing that humanity ever did to itself was invent the TV and then the internet. Not that those things are inherently terrible. We've just used them horribly for ourselves.
Yeah. Well, well, you think about, like, I go back like to day one. I can go back to day one of AOL, the first time I got hooked up on the internet. And I'm going to be honest, for like the first 6 months, I used it properly. I'm going to be honest. I properly used it. I used it to talk to friends and get on there, do searches. The kids used it for homework, stuff like that. It was all legit. And it was my brother-in-law who sent me the first porno site thing. And that was like, and then we were back and forth. So, which was horrible because if you guys remember that 28 baud fucking modem, trying to send a picture to somebody and having it paint itself on there, and
just a line at a time.
Yeah,
a line at a time.
How do you not get caught? How do you not get caught? You know what I mean? Because it's fucking taken forever to load up, right? And it was a vagina with a Nerf football coming out of it. That's my first dirty picture was sent through the internet. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm watching it just load. And I'm going, what is this? And then, started.
Go home.
And I was like, okay, that was 15 minutes of my life I'm never, ever, ever getting back, because that's how long it took that picture to fucking upload. Oh man.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. I was like, you son of a bitch, man. What the hell is this, man?
I mean, the years of dial-up internet is not the same thing. Not the
No.
same thing. The age of high-speed internet.
Yeah, everything is instantaneous now. I mean, it's just there's really no. I mean, I have not think honestly. When's the last time you've been to someone's house where you said, "God, the fucking internet's slow"?
My house. So
No,
yeah,
I
no,
don't
no.
I
know.
just upgraded to a gig.
Now, keep in mind
Very expensive.
what we're doing takes up a lot of bandwidth. So what we're
Yeah,
doing is a little different than just surfing the internet or even streaming a TV show on
yeah.
Netflix.
Streaming
What
live
we're
video is hard.
Yeah, this is, and now we're at 1080p. So this, 720. Put it this way, 720. When I would download this show on 720, it would be a 2 GB file. Like that was the whole show, the whole 2 hour show. Now that it's
Oh
1080,
yeah,
it's almost a 10 GB file. So it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's 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 a huge file now. So yeah, what we're
I mean,
doing
not
is a
even that,
lot
but
better.
like the idea that we can like just stream video. We
Yeah,
can stream video to our mobile devices, a mobile device that doesn't have the kind of hardware that you have in a computer.
yeah. And now these guys are in their little huts watching porn on their, I don't know if they got
Yeah, it was
where did
cell phones. It was
where
fucking cell phones for sure. They're in their
here
little huts learning
I
how to
can see
masturbate
I can
to,
see those poor guys going, handing out the phones. Use these for good. Use these for good. And these guys are in the back going, "Hey, yeah, look at this."
like,
I would.
who's Angela White?
Oh my god! And so this is a 2,000 member tribe that is left bitter, divided by the arrival of Tesla's founder Skylink service 9 months ago, which connected the remote rainforest community with the along the, I don't even know how to say that, Itui River, Ayut, or whatever.
I used
Yeah, river to the web for the first time. When it arrived, everyone was happy. Yeah, they were. I bet.
really were.
But hey, I mean, think about that. I mean,
Now their women are unsatisfied.
we were excited to get it, but can you imagine these people like getting the internet for the first time, a cell phone for the first time, all this stuff for the first time? I mean,
That's
that's
kind of
How long do you think it
disruptive.
was till the first order of Viagra was placed?
I was
Minute,
excited till it lasted
minute.
4 hours and I had to go to the hospital. No, I'm kidding.
They went to the medicine man of
Right.
their
How
tribe.
do you inject? Cluck, 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 cluck. Oh, that's mean.
Ooh, God, the medicine man having to they don't have needles there, so you'd have to inject a bamboo stick up in there and to yeah. But now things have gotten worse. Young people have gotten lazy because of the internet. Yeah, it's possible. Did you feel like you got lazier because of the internet, Kevin?
Oh my God, the internet's made all of us fucking slouches. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, no. There's different levels of lazy, though. I mean, when you say it made you lazy, it made you lazy to like think about something that someone asked you and you just Googled it. But that
I
lazy,
mean,
right?
not only that, but come on, we're all lying to ourselves if we sit here and we're like, oh yeah, but it doesn't affect like my work ethic or things that I do because we never sit in front of the computer pushing stuff off, knowing that we got to clean the apartment or clean the house or do the dishes or get stuff done. Yeah, it's made all of us lazy. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so animated
I
tonight. Oh
see.
my
I
God.
see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, I could go on the internet and surf porn or do the dishes. Yeah, I'll surf porn.
I mean, I tell myself I'm going to clean the apartment all the time, and then I scroll on TikTok for like an hour, and I'm like, well, time for bed.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I did that the other night and I was so angry at myself. 2
Yeah,
hours. 2 hours
yeah.
on TikTok. Have you
You don't
done
even
that,
realize
Deana?
the time is going by.
Have you done that yet, Deana?
I've unfortunately done that. Do you know how long it takes to record a video that that at least by my standards I'm happy with on
Mm.
TikTok? My
Forever.
my longest was 4 hours. It took me
Oh,
four
Jesus Christ.
hours to record a 2 minute and 15 second video.
Oh, just for you to
record
oh,
it.
for you to do it. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I've done that
That's a
before.
giant sack
Yeah,
out of your day.
yeah.
I mean, but at
I
least you're doing something. Like you're working towards something for that. I wouldn't call that being lazy. That's just trying to be productive and having trouble.
I
yeah.
wouldn't call that productive either. So
Are you ready for the second part of that sentence? Because it's just gotten lazy because of the internet. They're learning the ways of the white people.
oh, that's not a way you want to learn.
Look, Kevin wants to say something, but he's holding back.
No, no, actually,
No.
I completely agree with the elders at this point.
Them
No.
damn lazy white people over there in America. A remote tribe in Brazil has become bitterly divided 9 months after gaining access to the satellite internet via Elon Musk's service Satellite. I forget what that place is called. The tribe leader, who's even frowned upon, it's even frowned upon kissing in public there. Jesus Christ. So I
Are
could
they
just
Amish?
imagine. I don't know what they are. I mean, they're the Marubo, Marubu,
Maru-
Marubu,
Marubo,
Marubo,
Marbo,
Marubo, or yeah, that's
Marlboro?
Marlboro.
yeah, yeah.
Are they owned
So
by Philip Morris?
yeah, I said he's anxious that the arrivals of the service, which delivers super fast internet to far-flung corners of the planet and has been billed as a game changer by Musk, could do you think? Yeah, he's a very smart man. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like he's not a smart man. He's a smart man, Kevin. Come on, give me a break. He's fucking making rockets, dude. He's a smart man.
He's not making rockets. He's paying people to make rockets.
Well, yeah,
Like, I'm sorry,
his
there's a fundamental
designs.
difference
Like
between a smart man and a man who knows who to pay.
Yeah, but it's his designs, is his concepts. He's paying people to make them, right? But it's his designs. It's all him.
So it's not. It's not. Let's. He
he has a team of
he.
people. He's not.
I'm
He's
sure he has a team of
collecting.
smarty pantses. Yeah,
So
I'm
so
sure.
I'll say this. I'll say this. He is very much somebody who, when he decides he wants to do something, he will start learning everything that he can about that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So, like, I know that, like, he bought Tesla, right? He always wants to say he founded it. He bought it, regardless. He didn't know anything about electric cars, I don't think then.
yeah.
He started learning about electric cars, and then he worked on it. I think it was the same thing with SpaceX, where he started learning about rockets, got excited about it, and now he knows a lot about it. But he is not a rocket scientist.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's just say he's a smart man, intelligent man.
He's
Do,
a
you
very
have to,
brilliantly
yeah. I
wallet
mean,
buff man. He has that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you had to think that that was like his first thing in his head. Or how are these people going to use this, right? I mean, I'm assuming he thought of that. Wouldn't you think?
No,
Mm-mm.
You
No,
I
don't
I
don't
think?
think
thought
he
he.
thinks like
I
that.
think he figured how he could capitalize on ads to people in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also,
Buy ads.
he's almost like not he's not a super villain, but he's almost like super
Super
villain
good.
levels of
He
like
is
thinking, right? Because he's the kind of guy who's like, I am bringing the internet to the world. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't think about what it's
for
gonna do.
$1 million.
Uh, I thought he was gonna say
Hmm.
he's like Elon Musk is the like Bizarro Superman or Bizarro Batman.
I mean, he's definitely gonna be the first guy on the planet to buy a volcano layer.
Oh, I'm sure he will be. I mean, is he now the official richest man? I think he is, right?
No, I think Bezos got him again.
No, because he gave half of it
I thought
away.
Bezos got busted. Hang on, now I gotta look
Yeah,
that up.
he gave half away. Well, he had to give half away to his wife, which knocked him out of the top spot. And then Tesla sales took
Oh,
off, and then SpaceX stuff took off, and that just pushed him up above everyone else, like some crazy number.
All right, as of April 2024, Elon Musk is the richest person in the U.S. according to Forbes.
Yeah,
Net worth of
well,
$195 billion.
yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a dude
Need
who's
to go
worth
fight
more
for
than
this
him,
shit.
though.
Oh yeah, there's the Rothschilds. There's a couple Saudi princes that are worth more than him.
So there's this dude, Bernard Arnault. He's the richest person in the world with a value of $2.12 billion.
Is that the perfume guy and luxury items?
He's the chairman of LVMH.
Oh yeah. That's the luxury lines, perfumes,
Yep,
the
the world's
bags.
largest luxury goods group.
Yeah.
Could you
Fucking
imagine being worth $200 billion? Like, oh my God.
That's
all
more
right.
money than anyone should be allowed to spend.
What does Kevin buy? What does Kevin buy?
Ew, and he's
With
old as
$212
shit.
billion,
Anything he fucking wants.
food for the planet, houses for the homeless. Jesus Christ, nobody needs that kind of money.
Nobody. I mean,
That's more
that's
money that you can ever spend in your lifetime. That's a disgusting
More
amount.
money than you and all of your relatives could spend in
yeah.
multiple lifetimes.
Yeah. But the dangerous part, though, is when you do get that kind of money and you start thinking the way you're thinking, you end up picturing a world that is only pictured in your mind as being perfect and not exactly what everyone else
Right.
wants. And I'm going to
Right.
name one person in particular. His name is Michael Bloomberg, who and Mr. and another person that is a Mr. Microsoft guy, which is Bill Gates as well,
Bill
who
Gates.
picture this specific world that is they think is utopia for them, but it's not
It's
work.
very
It's not going to work.
dystopian.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's all those people. That's
Yeah.
the Bezoses, that's the Musks, that's the Koch brothers. Like they all have a world in mind,
Yeah.
and it isn't what everybody wants.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So you all think he's like, okay, these fuckers are all going to get on the porn site. As soon as they get this link, as soon as they get their phones, as soon as they get their little, I don't know, did they have PCs? I mean, they can't have electricity there, right? I mean, there's not fucking electricity running into the tribe there.
Can you imagine the OnlyFans that would come from those tribes?
Oh my God. OnlyFans in the hut. Hey, Kevin, only Dina would have thought of that. Only Dina would have thought of it. You think that would have came from one of us two first, right? No. Dina throws out the OnlyFans in the hut.
I got nothing to say. I don't even know why.
I am either a very sick motherfucking person because I am already like picturing these scenes in my head in the hut.
Oh my God.
Check out my booty skirt. Check out my muscles.
I'm picturing some girl in a hut holding a coconut and a banana and asking people where she wants them to insert it.
Oh no! You took that a way farther level than I was thinking.
Oh, those poor Indian people. We're worried young people are going to want to try it. I guess what's happening is in this article I was reading is what's going on is they're starting to see that the younger people that are watching the internet or on the internet that are watching porn have gotten more kinky. Well, duh. And have gotten more adventurous with sex and like where they're doing it and how they're doing it.
You just introduced a bunch of random, like middle of nowhere humans to just a giant plethora of things they didn't know were possible.
Yeah. Kevin, your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm torn on this topic, honestly, because like while I agree that is horrible and like they're dealing with something that they were not prepared to deal with. The whole idea that like, oh God, they're learning about sexuality and all this other stuff, and like they're upset about it. Like, I don't know. I firmly believe, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I know, send your hate mail to me, it's fine. But like tribes that like that exist out in the Amazon, I think that they should be dragged kicking and screaming into the modern world. Like, I don't understand how you can remain isolationist in this kind of world. Because it's too much of a culture shock when that finally ends.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I get why they kind of want to keep people out of those
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. And this is a perfect example of it, of one thing, but and then also diseases and other stuff like that, that these people don't have shots. They don't have this, they don't have
But they could have them if they join the
yeah,
rest of the
right.
world.
Right. If they join the rest of the world.
What is syphilis?
But I mean, like, that's my point. Like, we have tribes out in the world that they don't have immunity to polio. Like, we've
Yeah.
fucking cured
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but what are the chances of them getting polio unless someone comes into that village with polio or some other Western disease, which they're not
But
going to be.
so their elders are
Yeah.
going to say, well, you don't have the opportunity to experience life as what the rest of the world
Right,
experiences life
yeah.
as because we're trying to keep you safe.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have, well, what you have here is you have the elderly, the older generation that is saying, we want to keep things the way they are. And I mean, I'm sure the older generation had some say into whether or not they got this internet service. I mean,
Yeah.
and they probably assumed, okay, this is going to be good for the village. And now all of a sudden you just got a bunch of guys walking around watching fucking Debbie Does Dallas and some other shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
can
that's why
only
you
The
like
worst
imagine.
part about that is they have no context. Like, they don't realize that that's not how the rest of the world really is with their sex.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking about. So, like, if they were to come to society, they just think everybody's fucking each other. It's like, yeah, this
Mhm.
is life. This is life right here. I
In the
fucked you
most
now.
uncomfortable, painful position.
Oh, and can you imagine? Can you imagine? They're probably like, oh, you can put that in other holes? I had no clue.
Don't encourage them.
What what in her mouth? What? What the fuck?
Wait a minute, it can go in both holes down there?
Damn it,
It's
son
a
of a
dick in
bitch.
a box.
What's this thing called tag team? I never seen this before. 2 people? 3,
Oh, dear
4?
Sometimes
God.
you can get them to put it between their boobs. Oh my God.
Oh, man. They learned a lot, I bet. Uh, the Skylink works by connecting antenna. Oh, I don't need to know. 6,000 low orbiting satellites. There's 6,000 of those satellites up there?
Yeah, he's been launching a
At
bunch of
least.
them.
Oh, God damn it. Hopefully, those are now they can direct when they come falling down, right? I think so, right? They can
I
Nope.
believe
kind of,
so.
yeah, like they can drop them in the ocean, not in the middle of fucking Chicago. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, satellite.
We
Everybody
hope.
going,
Oh no, so actually I think they're designed that they're small enough that they burn up in the atmosphere. They don't ever actually make it back down.
yeah,
Because they're tiny.
Okay.
He launches like 20 or 30 of them at a time in a launch.
yeah, yeah. Well, it says it's already saved lives in that tribe. 40 stated. Members are also able to share educational resources with other Amazonian tribes and connect with friends and family who live elsewhere.
Hmm.
So I guess there was some good in it. I automatically would assume, I don't know, man. I thought about this. I mean, somebody had to type that in for the first time. You know what I mean? So somebody had to be intrigued. You know what I mean? Or it
I
was,
mean, but if they're using Google, like Google
oh shit.
recommends things to you.
That is true. That is true.
Murder porn. Oh shit! What did I just find?
Well, somebody had to write
They're
something
trying
in
to
there.
type in piranha, they misspell it, and they're like, wait, what's this?
Oh
What's
yeah,
the hairy panines?
This isn't, you know, fish. Well,
Oh
plenty,
Lord! It's
plenty
not
of
fish.
fish. Plenty of fish. The tribal edition. I can see that. She lives 6 huts away. Damn it, son of a bitch! Is that close?
plenty of palm
That's
leaves.
awesome.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Oh, and then I could
We're
just
all
like
going to hell.
imagine the first time they get on Facebook. I could just picture that. Like, oh my God, why do I keep getting these advertisements? What is this? We can't even get that here. Oh, I can imagine that. Oh yeah. So
I'm
hey
telling you, it's
man.
gonna be crazy when they start ordering off of Amazon.
Oh, it's delivered to the Amazon. That'd be pretty. A little fucking drone. Edible panties start coming in.
They're throwing
Oh,
spears at it.
well, Well, we wish them luck, and I mean, eventually, it's you're right though. You start thinking about it. It's 2024. The advancements are just out of this world, and it's weird when I still see like that tribe, that other tribe that's out there in Brazil, where they're keeping those people isolated, and they're telling people not to go there. They're actually killing people and eating them that try to come over there and help them. So.
Yeah.
It's a scary thought just to think, and
I mean,
then it's
I don't know. It's insane because it's like it's the North Korea thing, right? It's like, how do you live an isolationist life in
yeah,
this day and age?
yeah. You got
And
one
that's
hell.
the thing. Like, it looks bad, right? You see this shit out of North Korea, and it's like, wow, they're living like it's 1950 in poverty and starvation.
Yeah, yeah. Kevin's he's a good person, Deana. I didn't think he was. I mean, listening to him here this last couple minutes, he really wants to save the fucking world. I mean, I'm worried if he ever got some money, we'd be in trouble. We'd be in
Yeah,
trouble.
that's right. It'd be my
You'd be in
victim
trouble.
which
He'd
would be
share it
awful.
with me. You'd be in trouble.
I wouldn't get a dime of it. He'd be like, he'd quit the fucking show. Be like, you know what, John?
We'd both
worth-
be like,
my own
"Gee,
show."
He'd be like,
fucker."
I'm worth $6 billion. I'm worth $6 billion, motherfucker. I don't need to do this damn show no more. I'm gonna go save some people in the rainforest. I'm gonna go buy Bezos out.
Lots of rainforest people.
I'm gonna have the highest Amazon order ever, man. I'm gonna send it all to the
I'm
ghetto.
gonna if I became a billionaire, I'd buy my own island so I could hunt other billionaires.
Oh, I want an
I'm
island. I
kind of
thought about
okay
that.
with that.
Yeah,
Can we hunt Trump?
yeah.
It's the annual billionaire hunt. This year we got Bezos.
And we got Bezos. Ah, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to talk about marriage? We ready to talk about marriage?
Sure,
Kevin has not.
sex, baby.
Kevin has not been married, but he's been in a relationship long enough to say that it was a fucking marriage. So we're gonna go with that. Deana's been married 8 times to 16 different guys.
Got it. Not horribly far-fetched, unfortunately.
I've been married once, and that's all that matters. One time, in and out. No, that doesn't sound good. One time,
it was a real bang up job.
I did my 20, and I think that's now they say like that's your
military service.
Yeah, that's 20 years. I did my 20 years. It's like prison sentence. I did 20,
you
man.
Get a fucking pension out of that or what?
Yeah, I should. I should get a pension. And like, how they have the teardrop as like you kill. They should have something for the married guy that got divorced.
Cross. A little cross.
Yeah. 2 drops. 2 drops.
Big star.
A sad face, like one of those like theater mask sad faces.
Yeah. or a dollar sign with an X mark on it. Yeah. Why marriage doesn't work, and is it outdated? What do you guys think is the first one on the list? One of the top reasons that people today think marriage doesn't work and is outdated.
Betrothment, arranged marriages.
We really need to do something about your microphone, girlfriend.
Really?
There you go. What do you think it is? Yes, speaking to the mic.
Money.
Kevin is correct. Cost in 2022 survey of 12,000 couples across the country found that the national average for a wedding is $30,000. However, the average is in many individual states is much higher, with New York and Massachusetts topping out at $46,000 for the big day. I mean, okay.
As much as a Denali.
All right. And look, I get that. And and Deana, she has laughed at me at this because I brought this up before. And I just assumed you were one of those girls that, had her whole wedding planned out when she was like 6 years old, had the dress. You're not that person, but there's a lot of girls that are like that, right? And they want that specific day to be special, and the dress, everything's just got to be special. But I mean, you really don't have to spend $46,000 or $30,000 to get married in this country.
You can go to the courthouse. It can cost you $500.
I like what you said, the courthouse, but there are, I mean, the courthouse is like last minute to me. I mean, I am a traditional, but that was like last resort for me. I still feel that that day should involve more than just some random judge signing my wedding certificate. Like, I don't know. That's me. How about you, Kevin?
I mean, so I was gonna. It's very dependent on the kind of wedding that you want to have, because
Yeah.
if you're okay with doing the courthouse thing, like that's an implied like, well, you're not really doing a reception, and it's gonna be a small affair, and it's gonna be really intimate, and that's fine if that's what you want. But like, if you're talking about a wedding where you're gonna have a guest list and you're gonna do that, like then you're talking a venue, and if you're talking a venue, I mean, you're talking $8,000 to $12,000
Once,
to start just
yep.
for the place.
Once you walk into any vendor and say this is for a wedding, they tack 20% on.
I let the little guy comes out with his
For
little
a
fucking
wedding.
calculator. He comes out with his little fucking calculator. Oh, they got that per plate per plate. You start breaking down the per plate thing, and you're like, holy fucking shit,
Oh
man.
God.
You know?
Well,
But
and you're not
like,
even talking about food. Like, holy shit.
yeah, food's fucking up there, man. Food gets up there quick.
Food, music, photography,
Yeah.
uh,
Oh
the
my
But I think
gosh.
decorations.
Yeah, but I think like maybe it's just me. I mean, and I get that. See, I as a father of a daughter, I don't like the traditional thing where the dad pays for the whole fucking thing. And it's not just because I'm the dad, but I'm just thinking to myself, like, yeah, it's a lot of money. But for me, I think it's like the two people using it as an excuse not to get married, I think is kind of bullshit because there are alternatives. And if you really wanted to go a little cheaper, and like Kevin brought up a word, a more intimate wedding. I mean, you when you start getting to into the 150s to 200 people weddings, how many of those people are really there because for you, for the wedding, for you as a couple? And how many are there
80% of
for the
those
free
people
dinner?
are there for a free dinner and they're gonna make your life freaking hell. But I
Yeah.
almost got married almost 4 years ago, and we got manipulated into adding people's children to our guest list at the last minute, and
Yeah.
then people like those people bailed, and I wanted to stab people.
Yeah. But are you guys okay with what I'm saying though? I mean, it shouldn't be an excuse not to get wanting to get married is money. The
No,
cost of the wedding.
absolutely. It should not be an excuse. However, you should take into consideration what your
Yeah.
partner wants for a wedding,
Yeah.
because if that's not your same vision, don't do it.
Yeah. And this is different. Hold on. I mean, it's different for the first and say the second marriage. Second marriage is usually a lot cheaper. It's more of your, now it's more of your really close friends that you really care about you. It's usually a smaller, venue. It's usually maybe 10 or 15 people, your second marriage. But the first
I
one,
mean,
you
I
got to
don't
be
know.
careful,
I don't
right?
know. I don't know if I agree with that. I think it is a good reason to not get married. And
Uh-oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because of the thing that you brought up earlier, John.
Okay.
There are a lot of women out there in the world that have been planning their wedding since they were little girls.
Yep.
And it's very much a thing for a lot of people. Like, a wedding is a big day. And if you can't have the wedding that you want to have, don't have the wedding.
Yeah.
For a lot of those people, it's that decision. And if you start talking about people that have to put themselves 20, 30, $40,000 in debt to have that wedding, it might
Mhm.
make more sense not to have it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
No, you're right. I mean, and it's usually not the guy. I mean, there are some occasions I've had some friends where the guy was the most important part of it. He's like, "This got to be like this. It's got to be," and the girl,
Drusilla,
yeah,
sing that.
Dina, and the girl's just like, "Hey, I just want to get this over with and said and done, and say I do, and we can be married." But yeah, most of the time it's going to be that woman in your life. And again, she's if
I
she's one
mean,
of those women that has had this whole thing planned out her whole entire life. I mean, how do you take that away from her? You love her,
you
so,
know,
you can't. I mean, you can't
I
look at
think,
her and
but
say no.
I think
I
those
see
women
two
are a little bit
dollar signs.
insane though too.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Because
But
like the thing about it is, it's like, how are you going to plan your wedding if you don't know who you're marrying?
right. Well,
Like a wedding is
it's
supposed to be
always a
about
Ken
both
doll.
people.
It's always
Sometimes that's how you find out is when you're planning a wedding and you go, "What the fuck did I just sign up for?"
yeah. Well, and yeah, I mean, you don't, she's gonna have a specific thing, and then again, Deana brought it up. You get manipulated from parents as well. It's like Uncle Tom's got to be there too. Send Uncle Tom a bed, and then the seating arrangement and all this other stuff comes into play, and you have all these outside voices telling you how your day is supposed to be. I mean, I went through it with Katrina on our wedding, and we ended up going, saying 80 people to, we ended up with 200 and something people at our wedding, so it was just like, yeah, because it just kept getting
Yeah.
bigger. It kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And like with me and her, we told ourselves early that what was most important to us wasn't this wedding, but after the wedding, the house, making sure we had money to put down on the house and move on with our lives, and not to blow a whole chunk of money on one day. Again, a very special day, but just one day. And yeah, it's tough, but like Kevin's and I were saying, I mean, it's hard to look at them in the face and not want to give them that, and
The
it's
vendors are terrible. Oh, don't you want an ice sculpture with your name engraved in it that spews
$80,000.
shots that are yes, exactly. Yeah,
Man,
apparently
man,
I do want that. I don't want that, but the person I was with was like, "Fuck, how do we not have that?"
Yeah.
Because
And then you get, go ahead,
it's a
Kevin. What are you gonna
mortgage
say?
payment or three.
I can't wait to get married because I take great joy in telling people I love no.
Yeah. It's like, everybody always has chicken and fish. Why don't you have tri-tip at your wedding or steak? I'm like, I'm gonna give everybody a fucking steak at a wedding, dude. What the fuck,
Expensive.
man?
I tell you what, give me
Chicken's
the
cheap, bitch.
absence of what you would have gotten on that steak. Give me that as your gift.
Yeah. In the United States, most weddings with 150 guests cost between
20,000 to
Uh,
45,000
wait, how
at
many
a
guests?
minimum.
150 today.
150?
That's,
Yeah,
that's at
40 to
today.
least
60,000.
$40,000.
40 to
How
60
much?
grand.
Yeah, between $28,000 and $38,000 with an
No,
average price tag around 33,000.
I'm gonna throw up. That's
$33,000.
disgusting. Ugh.
like
$33,000.
you spent a down payment on a house in one day.
Yeah, I
Yep.
looked it up. I looked it up today when I was looking this up, and I said, "What was the average down payment now is required to purchase a house in the United States?" And
It's
it's
about 20 grand.
20 grand, 6%. So on, and if you're, well, no, yeah. No. It was 20%, right? That would be 20% on a $400,000 house. I think if you are a first time
20%.
buyer,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. If you're a first time buyer, they want to protect themselves. So 20%, you need 20% because the bank knows you're going to default on that loan, and they want to make sure they get a good chunk of it right at the beginning.
Ooh,
Oh, that's insane. But yeah,
makes my heart burn a little bit.
again, I mean, all right, Kevin. All right. How do you go about telling her what she can and can't at a wedding?
I mean, that's just, I don't know. That's not a conversation that
I'm
would ever
only
happen.
asking you this question because you brought up the fact you couldn't wait to do this. So I'm giving you an opportunity to do it live.
I mean, I just feel like, babe, I love you, but this is ridiculous. Like, we
Yeah.
can't afford it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I would never marry a person that would be so about their wedding day that would ever be an issue. Like, I could never be with a person like that.
But you don't find that out until that moment happens, until you propose,
That's
and
not
then
true.
she
That's not
throws
In
out.
true. That's
planning
not
mode.
true.
That is true.
I mean,
I was
if
supposed to get married on a cruise ship. It was going to cost $5,000. Everything would have been planned. And then at the last minute, no, I want to have something great because we both eloped the first time. I don't fucking care. I don't care.
Wait a minute.
yeah,
Did you
Meanwhile,
never
I have a
talk about it before?
1,200
take a deep
life
breath,
lesson,
relax,
my
Eden,
friend.
relax. It
Life
didn't happen.
lesson.
It
I
didn't
have a
happen. Dude.
dress in my closet right now that costs $1,200 that I will never, ever fit into again. That is a giant waste of money.
You can give it to
It's
your
just
daughter
sitting there.
when she's ready.
That's never going to happen. That's
Uh,
never going to happen.
you never know.
If
You
you
can
met
always
my
sell it.
daughter, you would know that's never.
Okay. Well,
You could try and sell it online.
yeah. Unused
I mean, you'll
dress.
get pennies on the
I
dollar, but
could.
it won't
I'll
be
lose
the
a
cost.
ton of money, but
Yeah.
I mean, you just said you're never going to use it, so the
Hey, I
money's
mean,
already
you might.
gone.
It might happen. It might happen, Dina. You don't know.
or
You're
it'll
Sir
be
Lance.
the most awesome Halloween costume I've ever had.
Your Sir
Multiple
you go.
Lancelot
years in a row.
may show up someday. Your Sir Lancelot may show up, and he'll just
Your
sweep you off
prince
your
or
feet.
princess charming.
Yeah. I'm glad we didn't get to hear that.
And it's never going to happen. It's never going to
Yeah.
happen. I can read lips.
He knows. He saw. He saw. He knows.
Yeah. And now this is, let's be honest, it's a little different. Like I said earlier, if it's your second marriage, I've been to a few second marriages, and it's a very small venue. It's usually like 10 people. Both of them that I've been to is like really close friends, 10 of us, and that's it. A
Because
small
nobody
little,
knows if that one's going to work out. They've already had trouble the first
yeah,
time around.
yeah. And it's like
Done
at a
that.
restaurant. It's at a restaurant, so it's just like they have one table all saved for themselves, and she's not
Nobody
wearing
brings a
white.
gift.
Yeah, nobody brings a gift, no gifts, and she's not wearing white, and she shouldn't be wearing white, but yeah, she's not
It's
wearing
a
white.
lie. Don't
Yeah,
parse it.
you don't wear white on your second wedding. I just
No.
I'll get you a little bit of trouble with mama.
These days, you don't wear white on your first wedding. Who are we lying to? Come on.
Yeah, that's true too. If you really to put it into, if you really start most of I mean, me and
You're really
Katina,
into the tradition.
yeah, we moved in together for the first year
Yeah.
before 8 months before we got
Right.
married, and that was like a
We've never
no.
touched each other.
Yeah, that was like the priest was like, "Oh, you two need to separate, for a while before you get married." I'm like, "Why? What's that
Oh my
going to
God.
what's that going to prove? That
That's
like
just
what
hilarious.
I'm so horny that I can't live without her. Well, what are you trying to say, priest? Yeah, it made no
You got to be
sense.
right with God, John. You got to be right with God.
Hey, God, I look at it this way. God put her in my path for a reason, and that reason was to marry her. That should be enough for any person in the church, right? Whether it's God or whoever, put her in my path, and I fell in love with her, so that should be enough. And I fell in love with her enough to ask her to marry me. That's it. That's all that should matter, whether we live together or not. Number two. What do you think number two is, guys?
Oh Lord. I'm still stuck on number one. I don't know.
Number two will get me and Kevin in a lot of trouble.
Oh, cool.
They'll get
Now
guys
I'm
in
really confused.
women's roles in marriage have changed. So, all right, Kevin, what do you right now? And I want your honest answer here. No joking around. No games. And Dina, don't help him out. What is Kevin looking for in his future wife? Her role in the marriage.
Oh my God, her role, equality. I want her to hold an equal position in the marriage.
Well played, sir.
Like,
That is the safe
no
internet
wife
answer.
bullshit. I don't want no trad wife bullshit. I want her out there making money. God damn. Oh my God. Let's have a dual income so that we can go do fun things.
Yeah. What else?
In this economy, you have to have.
You have to have
Yeah.
two
in
incomes.
your house.
Yeah, you have to.
I'll help clean the house. I'll do the laundry. I'll do all. I don't care. We'll work that shit out. It don't matter to me.
Yeah. So you don't expect her to be sitting at home, taking care of the kids, taking them to soccer, baseball.
No.
You want to share all that burden with each other.
I'm like, I love doing that stuff with my daughter.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of had the thing as a single parent. I had those were my favorite times doing that stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to miss out on that stuff because I'm working 60 hours a week.
Yeah. I've done that burden. It says women's often take a larger share of the household chores and caregiving responsibilities, even in marriages where both spouses are earning similar amounts of money.
Yes, that's bullshit.
Deana
You're
got all
saying that's bullshit.
That is bullshit.
It's not helping
Although,
your partner when you both make an income. That is
all
not
right,
helping.
Doug.
That is
Okay,
shared duty.
whose fault is that? And
The
I'm waiting.
government?
No, because it goes further back than that, and it talks about that in this article, and it talks about how you were raised to do that. You were taught that that is your responsibility.
Oh
So
yeah, we're all
you ought to.
predestined
You're
because
yeah.
we have ovaries
So when
to
you get to
raise
that point in
children.
your life, it's just second nature. You're like, these
Well,
are my responsibilities.
unfortunately, you're blindsided because in my experience, unfortunately, you have the children and then you also have to get a job and then still take care of the house because that's what society's branded us for.
well, and there's a couple of different subsets of data that are a little interesting in that, which this has nothing to do with income, but like in married couples, it does tend to work out that men wind up working more hours than women
Right,
when it's a
right,
dual income household. Um, and you see that they're like, and the other thing is like, there's such a distinct lack of communication. Like so many things that I read on the internet, it's like if you people would have just gotten together and fucking talked to one another, you could have avoided a whole lot of these issues.
right,
But
right.
people don't do that.
No, they don't. And I ran into that a lot with my ex-wife, and you're absolutely right. Whether we were both making the same amount of money, I would end up making a lot more money because I was working the extra day. I was working the holidays. She would get angry at that, but I'm like, hey, you don't mind that extra money, you know. But we really didn't talk about it. We didn't sit down and talk about it like I think we should have done and kind of worked it out. But I think you're right. I think you're right. I think if you sat down and work through that, But do you feel that this is a reason that you shouldn't get married?
I
I
don't think
mean,
that's
I
the reason
think
not to
poor
get married.
communication is definitely a reason to not get married.
Poor
Well,
communication, but
not to
not
keep it.
care of the
Not no,
children.
this is the woman's role. You think that this is a key thing right now for women? A reason why they don't want to get married, because they feel that this is what's going to happen. They're not only going to have to work 40 hours a week, but also spend another 20, 25 hours a week just cleaning house, doing laundry, taking care of the
and get
kids,
and
carpooling.
get paid 75 cents on the dollar
Yeah, well,
compared to
that's about
you.
right. I think it should be less, but yeah, it's about 75 cents. I love you,
Wow.
Dina. I
Wow.
love you, Dina.
Mic drop. Have
Yeah.
a good
I
night,
mean,
folks.
if they could just make a better sandwich, they could make more money. That's all I'm saying.
Wow, John.
No, I kid. Uh, and look, I feel bad for that. I feel bad that but again, I think both sexes have been raised that way, and I don't think I'm hoping that Gen Z or Alpha, this new generation, hopefully that has changed somewhat, where the parents are trying to say, "You're the man. You go to work. You work 80, you work 90 hours a week. You do whatever you have to goddamn do to support your
I
family."
mean,
And then the girl being told, yeah, you could go to work, or you could get an education, or you could do this, but it's
I mean,
important that you're at home, with the kids, taking care of the kids, driving them to school, making their lunches. Hopefully that has changed.
I
Do
don't I don't
you
think people are having kids by Gen Alpha. We're
yeah,
already like dual income, can't afford to have kids. By
yeah.
then it's gonna
I'm
be so
looking
bad
at
that they won't be able to have kids.
I'm looking at both of my children, and both of them are like, "Why would I have kids? Why would I do that? That's a giant burden." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right."
Yeah. But you say that now, but we all said that. I mean, I said that before I got married,
The
but when you
economy
finally
was
fall in
different
love,
when you got married.
when you finally fall in love, you just want to make that baby, man. You want to make that baby.
I have never been in love so much that I've wanted to make a baby.
Me neither, and I have 2 of them.
You wanted to make, you wanted to fuse your 2 DNAs together and make this
Nah.
this super child.
That was a giant oops. Now what?
Oh, I told you to put a condom on, damn it.
Dude, I'll go get
Great,
snipped.
okay?
It's fine.
Number 2 to women's roles. Deana, I didn't write this. Okay, just keep that in mind. Me and Kevin did not write this. Serving their husband. Serving their husband. Look at her face.
Are we in olden times now? Serving your husband?
I gotta be real quiet. I gotta be real quiet.
Because I know where you live, Kevin.
No, I just got a lot of shit to say about fucking modern day feminists.
Hold on, before you respond, let me read the whole sentence. Serving their husband. Women may be expected to prepare food, clothing, and other personal needs for their husband. Deana, your thoughts.
What are other personal needs? What classifies as other personal needs? Because I'm pretty sure food equates to a sandwich, and I'm okay with that.
Kevin, are you thinking personal needs is sex? I'm thinking personal needs is sex. They're just saying it cleaner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think they're just clean. They're churching it up. They're churching it up for the
article. Churching it up. That's fair.
In the back for the Protestants.
The Protestant. Hey. I got my 3rd wife.
Fuck the Mormons.
That's the Mormon. Yeah, the Mormons.
That is the Mormons. That's the cultists.
Do you think that is a key thing for women today on not wanting to get married?
No.
Yes.
And all these things, let's be honest, okay? Whether you're married or not married and living together, do you feel this is still expected?
Unfortunately, no. I do.
You think it's different when you're not, because you don't have that piece of paper? Do you honestly, Kevin, think it's different when you don't have that piece of paper?
No, it's not. It's not. Don't lie.
Don't lie.
I mean,
it's not.
Partnership
but that
is implied.
That doesn't make it any less real, though.
Yeah. I mean,
like marriage feels more permanent. If you think that you're dating someone shitty, you just leave. It's not as easy when you're married.
Yeah, but it gets different when you're with somebody and you're living together. There's no just leaving today's economy. There's just no, hey, I'm out. Fuck you. That's not happening. You may not have that piece of paper that says, you know, Kevin and whatever future wife of yours will be, Stephanie. I'll go with Stephanie. You know, it's just a piece of paper. But when you're living with somebody in this economy, there's no fuck you. You didn't do the laundry. I'm walking out.
It's hard to
I mean, at the same time, like most people in this economy aren't living in houses either before they're married. So well, you're my roommate now for the next 3 months, and then I am fucking out of here.
You're not on the deposit. Bye. Peace, bitch.
I can see Kevin. Bye, Felicia.
I hope you're paying for cleaning because my room's a mess.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right, Deana. Deana.
Yes, sir.
You guys lived together before you got married, right?
Or unfortunately, no? Yes. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, was
my pizza delivery guy when I was pregnant.
Okay.
He knows.
So, I'm gonna say, I mean, I'm old school, and we did live together for a while, 8 months before we got married. But I think both of us were. She was raised very Jehovah's Witness. She was a Jehovah's Witness. So, and I was raised big time Catholic. So, but I think my Gen X, I think we were raised that way. I'm the man. I go to work. You're the woman. You know, you maybe go get an education, maybe you don't. You take care of the kids. Even when before we had gotten married, those roles were already defined in our relationship.
I feel like Gen X is torn because there's an older generation of Gen X and a younger generation of Gen X.
Yeah,
And the economy in the 80s was not the same as the
yeah,
economy for my age at the end
yeah.
of that.
Uh,
And the divorce rate had already skyrocketed, and we're already screwed.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
my
mean,
lady friend.
like
Sorry.
I don't know, maybe this is just me, like my generation, there I wasn't expected to do laundry. That wasn't a thing a guy was supposed to do in a marriage. I wasn't supposed to be the guy loading and unloading the dishwasher. I wasn't supposed to be the guy that was picking up the laundry throughout the house. I mean, hopefully I don't know if that's still traditional things in today's society with kids, but I can see where this one could be an issue when a woman is deciding whether or not to get married. Because I think with today's woman, they're more, or today's girl or woman going into being a woman, I think wants to get that college degree, wants to have that big job, wants to have some responsibilities at work, and yeah, maybe still have a kid, or get married, or maybe not even have a marriage just to have a kid. I think that's like the big thing right now. I don't need a man, just I need a kid.
The
I want a kid.
biological clock is ticking. We all
Yeah,
need to have an
yeah,
offspring. It's Motherhood is very much desired thing, and it's
right.
very much hormonal, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that part of it because that's something that you guys all go through. I mean, God, we don't. I don't go. I didn't grow up going, God, I can't wait to have a son. You know what I mean? I wanted a son, but I wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to have a son, or I can't wait to have
I
a
mean,
daughter.
we're not built that way
Girls are
No.
right.
hormonally or
Girls are prepped
biologically.
from age
Yeah.
like 12. You're gonna have a period. It means you're fertile now. Like we're just told from age like middle school, you're gonna make babies, and that's just
Yeah.
something that we're socially apt to want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can go even further than that. Like, we are one of very few mammals that mates for life, or at least attempts to. Most
Right.
mammals
Right.
We're
don't
one.
do that in the
Yeah.
animal
We're one
kingdom.
of two mammals that have sex for pleasure. The other one
Yeah.
is dolphins. In case
Yeah.
anyone.
Go humans. Go humans. Go
Go
humans. Go
dolphins.
humans. Go humans. Dolphins are perverted. Dolphins are perverts, man. They'll fuck anything.
Dolphins will hump anything, like a
Anything.
dog.
Ah.
Funny
If
how
that
that
was
works out, that
socially
they have
acceptable
almost the
for
same
you,
size
wouldn't
brain
you
that we
just hump
do.
all the time? If that was socially acceptable for you, wouldn't you just walk up to anything you can hump and be like, "It's fine"?
uh, number 3. And again, Dina,
Oh,
me
you
and
see Bruce? Bruce is
where
there.
is,
He's posting.
but he's not on
He's
us.
on Facebook. He's on
Uh,
Facebook,
He is.
commenting on Facebook.
oh, go live, you son of a bitch, and ask our question.
Come on, do it like the feud.
All right. Remember, Dina, Kevin and I didn't write these. Supporting
Mhm.
their husband. Women may be expected to believe in, appreciate, and cheer on their husband. Kevin, your thoughts?
I mean, is that really traditional gender roles?
I it says this is women's women's roles.
I think out in the world today, a whole lot of men don't feel supported by their significant others emotionally.
Yeah. But I think this is God, I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this one.
There's trouble.
I think it should be for
No.
both sides. I think it should be for
Yeah,
both sides. Yeah, I do. But I think it should be more for us because we are
Wow.
no, no. Because and I'll explain to me why. I'll explain this why, and I think Kevin will agree with me after I'm done explaining it. I think that the way we are designed, that is important for a man. It's very important for a man's ego to feel like he's on top of the world, and that he has a woman that believes in him enough to stand by him no matter how fucking stupid he is, or how dumb whatever he's doing. But I think we are just built that way to where we need to have our ego stroked.
How many things y'all need stroked? Jesus fucking Christ. Need your ego stroked, need your penises stroked, you need a sandwich. Y'all are more demanding than we are.
No, I don't like I don't, maybe I'm wrong, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. I think it's more important for a woman to hear another woman tell her she's doing great with her kids than a man telling a woman she's doing great with her kids. Am I right or am I wrong?
Do you know how infuriating it is as a mom to see a dad walk through the store and be like, "You're doing a great job with your kids"?
Okay,
Because
exactly.
if my kids were screaming as much in the front seat of that car, in front of that cart with me, as opposed to my significant other, the reaction is very different.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think guys, we're just designed that way. We need that person that loves us the most. And most of the time, that was our mother in the beginning. Mom, Kevin, am I right or am I wrong? Mom didn't stroke your ego, bud. Like you're great. You're doing great. Look at these. My son got an A. He's beautiful. He's doing this amazing things. You needed to hear that as a child. And you grew up with that.
It was very peaks and valleys with my mom, but yeah.
Yeah. And when dad did it, it really didn't mean anything, right?
Well, because dad didn't do it.
Right, exactly. So what I'm saying, that's
But
what it is for us.
Dad made
I don't know, but that's bad. That's bad, Dad.
Yeah. Like my dad never went up to me and
but
said,
"It is what it is."
Yeah, my dad didn't go up to me and say, "You got an A." All right.
In the world.
Yeah.
Men are invisible in the world. Nobody tells a man he's doing a good job except for his wife when he's in a relationship.
Yeah. And I think that's why I think this is still something that's important for a man. We need that woman to say to us each day, well, I wouldn't say each day, but occasionally tell us we're doing a great job. What a great supporter we are. What a great husband. You're the best.
Because that
you're
means
the best.
That means we got exactly one person doing that in our life.
Yeah, you're the best lover I've ever had. Things like that.
Trade-off is the same. Your woman wants to hear you're doing a great job. You're beautiful just as much as you need your things stroked, you giant.
No. I get that. I'm not arguing that, but my point is right when it comes to who's doing it for you guys. It's more important for you having a woman tell you you're a great mom than it is when a guy is approaching you and telling you.
I don't think that's true.
I don't believe that either. I don't believe that either.
I do.
Maybe it's a generational thing, because maybe Gen X is not like that. Millennial generation totally like that.
No, Gen X could give a shit what you thought about how you were raising your kids.
Give a fuck.
Yeah, they could give a shit. That's how I raised my kids. That's how it is, bitch. You don't like it, fucking one step. That's how we were.
Both a husband and a wife should support each other. I think both a husband and a wife should support each other emotionally and every other way. I think the big difference is that women can get emotional support in other places except for their marriage.
Bruce is going to do
and
a lot.
If your woman's getting emotional support in other areas, you should maybe reconsider
Brucey, walk up to their first lady over there and ask her if
can't hear you though.
Yeah, that's all right.
Too loud.
I'm glad you attempted it. Where's all the fucking cars? They haven't started rolling in? Oh, I know where he's at. I know what bar Bruce is at.
I didn't know y'all hung out in the ghetto.
No, that's not the ghetto.
I'm just kidding.
All right, Bruce. It's too loud. Yeah, it's too loud. Sign off.
I gotta put like right up to my ear to ear so you guys.
Yeah, it's too loud. We're gonna sign you off. Yeah. Have a good night, man. Maybe I'll see you out there later. All right.
I wait for Joe and Bob to show up, but yeah.
All right.
Other than that, wait for the cars to start.
Bob, I said hi.
Check in with you guys.
All right, I'll see you later on tonight. right, peace out. All right, I kicked him out.
Why is Bob not on the show anymore?
It's too loud. Where were we at? We did supporting their husband. Being a good employee. That's no. Women may be expected to be professional, disciplined, and a good employee. That's the current role, woman's role in marriage. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. All right.
I don't know about
Kevin,
using the word employee.
Yeah. All right, Kevin, I want you to be absolutely honest with me with this answer, and I don't want you to give me the politically correct internet answer. Kevin, you started a business and you have to hire 10 employees. What is the likelihood of you hiring a female employee? Knowing
a female employee? Any female employee?
Yeah, any female employee.
I don't know. The same as anyone else?
Yeah.
Like,
are you not? Are you going to be? I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for this, but I'm trying to prove a point.
Yep.
This is not me out there, ladies, but there are a lot of companies that will not hire female people because of
the pregnancy thing.
Yeah, the pregnancy thing, missed days. You're more likely to take days off, more likely to take sick days. There's so many different things that are involved. Menstrual periods, all that stuff comes into play. You got to go home, all this stuff. So I just want
to. That's such a fucking sexist way to look at that shit. That's so fucking horrific.
It's not me. I'm not saying this. It's just
I know, but like,
even
that it's in an article, like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah,
I don't think I could roll my eyes any harder than I just did.
Yeah, no, but I mean, there are companies that are out there that are like that, and it's kind of
sad. There's a lot
because,
of companies that are like that.
It's kind of sad because
shut down.
You're missing out on a really good employee. You could be missing out on a great employee that maybe
not only that, but like, let's be honest, you should be giving dads the same amount of time off for pregnancies.
Yeah, dad should be getting, but not like 6 months.
I mean, but in America, it's 6 weeks. It's 6 weeks for a pregnancy.
6 weeks. 6 weeks. Yeah,
6 weeks is bullshit. I'm sorry, my body took more than 6 weeks to bounce the fuck back from 2 children.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all either. It should be more.
6, but you still, 6 weeks, but you still got to do all the household chores. You still got to,
Hence my fucking concern.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's the point, though. Like, husbands should get that time off so they can support their wives. Before and after their fucking pregnancy.
And go to sleep early and not wake up with the baby at all.
I'm going to say that I think your generation has gotten better at in dual marriage and actual, marriage situations on dealing with work and kids. I think you guys are a lot better at managing that thing than we were at Gen X. I think Gen X is, I hate saying this, but I think our roles were let's work and just dump the kids at daycare, and then just pick them up at 6 o'clock at night, And I think you guys.
And then as a single parent, when that divorce rate becomes so giant, because that's where we're at as Gen X, the amount of money you have to put in to daycare, it almost makes it not worth working.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was cheaper for us for daycare back in even in the early 90s. My first son was 91, and thank God I had my mother. If I didn't have my mother, I think it would have been very, very expensive for daycare. But I think it was. Yeah, I think for us, it was easier. And I think it's just because Gen X, the way they were raised, we had a lot of freedom. We had a lot of responsibilities that were our own we were responsible for taking care of ourselves.
You also come from a time when a single income could, maintain a household.
Maintain a whole household. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like 40 hours a week. There were people definitely working overtime and working really hard, but that was an option. That's not an option anymore. It's not even close to being an option anymore.
You can still work overtime, and that overtime is going to daycare in part.
And hey, man, in the 80s and 90s, employers were they were stingy sons of bitches. they'll go, oh, can you work an extra 2 hours? And you think you're going to have overtime at the end of the week. And then that 5th day, you only work 4 hours. Hey, I don't need you to go home. I'm like, you son of a bitch, man.
Yeah.
That went on a lot in the 90s. And it was starting to really piss me off. It's like, you think you're going to get some overtime, get a little extra cash. And then all of a sudden Friday comes around and he goes, oh, I'm going to need you for 4 or 5 hours today. Go and go home. And I'm like,
it's only gotten worse. It's only gotten worse.
Yeah. I mean, it's only worse now.
It's pretty bad. Participating in community activities. Women are maybe expected to participate in community activities and volunteer at work. Hey, Deana, your thoughts.
That's hilarious. Who the fuck has time for that?
These are reasons not to get married. These are reasons women are using not to get married.
Who the fuck has time for that? If you have time for bake sales and all of that, I mean, these days bake sales consist of you have to go buy stuff anyways because everyone has a peanut allergy. So at the end of the day, what are we doing?
I think that's the one thing COVID did good for society was the fact that you couldn't bake your own stuff anymore. It had to come from the store. So you guys,
that's been that way in my community for like 10 years.
Yeah.
This kid has a peanut allergy. Don't send your kid to school with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Why is your kid stealing my peanut butter and jelly sandwich from my kid?
Oh my God. When my daughter was in like grade school, they just had a rule. Like you could not bring anything peanut related into the school. You couldn't even give your kid a peanut butter sandwich for lunch.
Yeah.
I used to write angry notes. Keep your fucking peanut allergy kid away from my kid's lunch, bullies.
Yeah, keep him away from my normal kid.
You don't get to be a bully and have a peanut allergy. Go fuck yourself. You know what? You should have brought your EpiPen today.
Deana's kids had a little pin on that said, I'm a normal kid. I'm just a normal kid.
It's like a fucking scarlet letter.
I don't fucking care about you. Yes.
Yeah. Fuck, I'll blow peanut dust in your face, bitch.
The problem with that, though, is that kids are really bad at fucking not touching one another.
Yeah. And that's a thing they should learn to not do because if you have a peanut allergy, that's on you, buddy. You did that.
But sometimes it's the kids with the peanuts that are the bad kids touching everybody.
That wasn't my kid.
That's the asshole that goes, hey, it's the asshole that knows you have a peanut allergy that goes, hey,
that wasn't my kid.
Taste
my
this.
Kids
always a bad apple ruin it for everybody else, though.
As he's
my
chewing
kids were the ones who went, do you have a peanut allergy and you stole somebody else's lunch? I'm going to punch you in the face because your lips are puffed up.
I mean, Deana, it's the same reason why there's a warning on rat poison that says do not eat.
And Tide Pods. Now Tide Pods.
Take all the warnings off of things and let it.
Hey, we talked about this on like past shows. There are fucking directions on toilet paper, dude. Who the fuck needs directions on how to use fucking toilet? If you don't know how to wipe your ass, dude, give me a fucking break, man.
You gotta understand. You gotta understand. Like everything in our society and our world is becoming like, oh, we have now made this for the dumbest person.
Yeah. Because they're going to do the dumbest thing with your product,
right? Right, and then that company or whoever's going to get fucking sued for everything that they're worth.
Yeah. Societal norms. Here we go. This is the one I think kind of is what we kind of a little bit talked about. For marriages can include expectations about what a marriage is, who can get married, and the roles of each spouse. These norms can also dictate how a marriage can end, and such as whether divorce is acceptable. And that's the thing. I think that's but again, does the heterosexual couple say, I don't want to get married because a gay couple can't get married? Is that happening right now?
No, but it could be a heterosexual couple saying, I don't want to get married because I don't believe in divorce and I don't know how this is going to work.
Yeah. How about you, Dean?
I mean, there's still a few of you Catholics out in the world.
There's a few of us. There's a few of us left.
There's a few of you.
Yeah. Divorce, you can get a divorce. You just got to make sure you get an annulment, and that's the tough part if you ever want to get married in the church again. Yeah.
I had
so you can get a divorce. You can get a divorce as a Catholic, but you have to some way, somehow, which makes it harder the more years you are together to get an annulment. But if you can get an annulment, and then you can still get married back into the Catholic Church for your second marriage. But if you don't get that annulment,
and if you don't do that, you got to request like an absolution from the Pope. I had a coworker that went through that. He had to write a letter to the Pope. And like
that's amazing.
He had to have his friends. He had to have his friends like write letters of character for him to send to the Pope.
Yeah. I swear to God, I'm a good boy. Yeah, I'm a good boy.
I'm good, I promise.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, what you said makes sense. But I mean, I don't. I've seen like these protests where this is a thing where it comes up. Lesbians can't get married, gay couples can't get married. And it gets to the point where that's fine with me. I could give a shit. I mean, if you want to get tortured and go through the same nonsense that a married couple goes through, and if you're lesbians or two guys, I could care less. I care. It's when you start saying, I want to marry my dog. I want to marry my cat. I want to marry, some dolphin or something. I want to marry this fucking stuffed animal. That's where I
don't know. At the end of the day, though, who fucking cares?
I think it takes away from the sanctity of.
Are you hurting anybody? Marrying your crocheted husband with no nose?
I mean, I don't want to be a dick about it, but you know what takes away from the sanctity of marriage? A fucking 54% divorce rate.
I thought you were going to say 54% split of the money in divorce. Yeah, that's what it ends up being.
I'm just like people are getting divorced at an alarming rate. Why? Because marriages kind of suck.
Yeah. I hear you. But I think it's still important that it's two live people. It's not two human beings that love each other. I can't take that away. I can't take away the fact that another man loves another man. I can't say that can't happen. And I don't think it's right. I can't be that person. I can't say two women shouldn't love each other. If you love each other, you love each other. And I think the churches should see that and say, well, if you two love each other and you want to go through this thing of marriage, then, who am I to say you shouldn't be married? What church shouldn't say that two people that love each other can't get married? What state or city or country? Yeah.
Depends on
and you're looking at it from a religious perspective. Yeah. You're looking at it from a religious perspective, which I don't look at marriage from that perspective. Yeah, marriage is a tax write-off for two people.
I think if that's
what legal contract.
But Kevin, people don't go into marriage for that purpose.
No.
Okay, you're getting usually people are getting married because they're in love. They're in love with each other and they want to get married.
But also like that's the thing about it. Like
that's the benefits of being married.
Is so rooted in like religion, and I mean people are becoming less religious as time goes on. So marriage is becoming less of a thing because people don't see the point in tying themselves to one another in the eyes of God as much as they feel like they should anymore.
Yeah. I don't know.
What do you think, contract. You can share your benefits. Like I would get married right now if it meant somebody I.
But see, that's the thing that they talk about right now. And this is it doesn't matter anymore if you have that piece of paper, depending on what state you're in. Now, granted, it depends on what state you're in.
Yeah, domestic partnership is still very much a trending thing depending on the state that you live in.
And with some of the states, it's actually. It breaks it down that the person that isn't married actually has more rights than the two people that are actually married when it comes to separation and money and all that other stuff. That the two people that are just living together in that sense have more rights in some states than the married couple.
It's for the divide, for the actual divide itself, because you're not committed to a legal contract.
Right.
So now you have the freedom to split your things in a not biased manner. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because California, I think, is 7 years. If you live together for 7 years and you the same address, and it's a whole
common law domestic partnership.
Yeah, it's a whole tricky little thing because that person has to have mail come to that house and all kinds of other stuff. It's kind of a weird way to have it set up, but
That, that
eventually
actually
that should happen.
became a thing in Illinois and Wisconsin not very long ago.
Yeah.
It's spread. It's
Yeah.
become a thing.
And I will get into the last one. Childhood programming. Childhood programming. Some say that childhood program can destroy things that are needed as an adult, and that marriages need to be refined to work for each individual couple. Your thoughts, Kevin?
Really
I don't understand that.
You don't understand it?
What do you mean
taking a
childhood
kid to
programming?
Taekwondo, does that
It's
turn
like what
into
we
a
were
marriage?
talking about earlier. Like mom said, "Oh, Kevin, you're gonna go to college. You're gonna find some beautiful woman, and you're gonna end up getting married. You're gonna get the house." Just that programming, and then this and
So
this and
people
this.
are not getting married because they hate their parents? That's what
Yeah,
I
pretty
understand.
much. I hate it. No, I'm gonna wait till I'm 32, mom. No. And that's the other thing too. Women are waiting a much longer because they're getting more education in their lives to get married. So more women are waiting to get married later in their 30s, and more likely to get married in their 30s than they are in their 20s anymore. Sometimes even into their 40s. By then, though, 40 is you're kind of pushing the envelope when it comes to having
Yeah,
children. Yeah.
I
So
mean, you
yeah.
definitely can't afford to have a kid in your 20s anymore.
yeah, you can't.
You can't afford to have a kid in your 40s anymore. I couldn't
Yeah,
make
yeah.
a
I
new
know.
baby
I
right
was
now
trying to
and
be
be like,
nice
I
to
can
John, though.
provide for you.
So what this is basically saying, Kevin, I think is what we were kind of talking about, where you said it's like I'm basing that marriage on religion. This is kind of basically saying the same thing. It's like we're kind of programmed, depending on what faith we are, that a
Yeah.
man and a woman should be getting married, not a woman and a
I mean,
woman,
it's
not a
almost
man.
all faiths. Like,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
many faiths are there out there that doesn't believe in marriage?
yeah,
That doesn't use marriage as like a sanctified right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that needs to change. They're saying, I think that's one of the reasons a lot of people are not getting married is because of childhood program. They don't see it being what they've been told their entire lives, and now they see a difference. It's
I don't
like,
know. I
hey,
also think that I think that right now in the world, like the gender norms and the things going on between men and women right now are like there's some really destructive stuff happening right
yeah,
now out in like the social sphere between like gender roles and how men are treated, how women are treated, what everybody wants out of something. Like there's a lot of wild stuff going around right
yeah, yeah. And all I want is a fucking sandwich, man. All I want is a fucking
now.
sandwich. Gina, that's it for us. That is it.
That's
For
it.
the marriage. Yeah, that is it. Yeah, it just goes into basically that stuff, and then the last couple of things. It's like I said, a lot of women are waiting a little later, and I think it's funny because it seems like the guys are the ones now kind of pushing to get married more than the female. The woman is. The woman is willing to wait it out
I
and
love
see.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
make
see.
sure
Yeah.
he's right for you. Make sure he's going to support you and a child. Don't wait until it's dangerous to your health.
uh,
If you
I
can
like the
help it.
fact that that you're choosing to educate yourself, and by doing that, you're making it I would say a slightly easier to leave that relationship and still support yourself, because now you at least have an education, a degree at something, where say 20, 30 years, no, let's say 40 years ago, where mom basically has been a house mom for 30 years, and then all of a sudden gets divorced, and she's kind of like, she ain't gonna get a job. Where's she gonna get a job? She's gonna waitress at a fucking restaurant. So I don't know.
I mean,
I
but
think,
do you think it's that, or do you think it's the drive to try and eke out an existence above poverty level?
yeah, no, that too, But I think that too, and but I also kind of think that women are starting to think and seeing the fact that the divorce rate is what it is just
Yeah,
making sure that if something does happen, she can still feel somewhat comfortable.
absolutely,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Because I think 40 years ago that wasn't the thing. I mean, think about it. My
That's not a
mom, all
thing.
she did was be a mom. she really, she didn't do.
Well, but I mean, but then again, 40 years ago, getting
Yeah.
divorced was,
Very limited.
taboo.
Yeah, it was very taboo. Deana.
She gone.
My camera
Hello,
is not
darkness, my
working.
old friend.
I don't know
Did you have?
why my stuff is not working. Can you hear me? I don't have
Yeah, we
camera.
can hear
Do I
you.
have
We can hear
audio
you.
possibly?
We can hear
I have a guess,
you.
but it's usually just because of Wisconsin.
Yeah, it
It,
could
it
be.
could be. I just upgraded my internet to a gig and it still doesn't
Yeah.
effing work.
Isn't
And
everything
my
in
child
Wisconsin?
isn't home.
Isn't everything in Wisconsin pickled, Kevin?
No, it's all casserole.
It's casseroles. Casserole.
Casserole.
Even the women are just walking casseroles.
Yep, we're just
Yep,
casseroles.
yep,
That's all it is.
yep.
We're a giant dish.
One big
I don't know
giant
if that's a
cheese
bad thing or a
casserole.
good thing.
One big cheesy casserole.
One delicious cheesy casserole.
You
Ooh, where
love
do
it.
hey
That's
Kevin, I
all.
That's
like
why it's so
It's so
delicious.
good.
hey Kevin, I like the burnt corners.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I like the
Nut-
juicy insides. Oh wait, I
I
can't
knew
say
it.
that.
I knew you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna say moist.
Inside.
I thought you were gonna say moist. I did.
I should have gone with moist. I missed it in the moment.
It's so moist. I don't
Uh,
know how to fix my camera. I don't know
uh,
why it's doing this.
all right. Well, before you, while you're trying to figure that out, I'll ask Kevin. What are the likelihoods with all this that we just went through? I mean, eventually, I don't know if I've ever even asked you this question, but eventually, you do want to get married someday, right?
No.
Or you're just done? You're
No.
done with.
I mean,
Are you in
well,
you?
so
Are you in Bruce's? Are you
Mother!
in Bruce? Are you in Bruce's corner?
well, so all right. So first of all, I'm an atheist, so I don't believe in like conjoining one's souls in God's eyes. Like that's not my thing. Um, so from a different standpoint, from the other standpoint, the standpoint that I'm at, I just truly don't believe that I'm ever gonna
Yeah.
find someone that I am gonna be willing to be like, oh yeah, no, you're the one. I'm gonna be with you for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
I'd love to find it, but I don't think that's in the cards for me.
So if
So
you
I'd rather
do,
be
let's
realistic
just
about it.
say Mrs. Wright shows up one day. So she's still going to be part of your life, but you're just not going to be that one that runs down to City Hall to get a marriage certificate.
Yeah, absolutely. If I meet the one, I'm just never going to bring up the idea of marriage. If they want to get married, I will go along with it and I'll do it. But
Nah.
that's not an important thing.
Yeah. Deana, are you ready to step down that aisle ever again? No, seriously?
No. I learned my lesson.
Yeah. I think it's just us Sicilians. We just don't want to do it twice or even once.
Well, I mean,
Life lessons.
there's a whole other thing that happens though, right? Like we didn't really
Yeah.
talk about it during the thing, but like getting married, it changes people. You
Yes,
know,
it does.
expectations change, ideas about how you want things to go changes, the dynamics of your relationship change. Like
It
there
really
are
does.
some things that people go through in marriages, and
Yeah.
those can turn out to be positive or negative outcomes.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I can almost close my eyes and picture that first month to how things changed when we had got married, and that dynamic changed so quickly, because in the beginning it was like this, it was a shared, semi-shared household chores, everything, because we lived in a small 1-bedroom apartment at that time. But there was, we had a thing, both of us had a thing about not having empty dishes in the sink, and who took out the dish, the trash, all that stuff. But then it kind of, after we kind of got married, it was like, okay, she kind of like, okay, I'm expected to take out the trash. So even if I wasn't home and it was completely full, she wasn't going to dump the trash because that was my role. And the same thing would apply for things that, she did, that I, she knew, oh, you know what I mean? Like she expected, it changed. Yeah. Go ahead. Go
Is
ahead,
it
Dean.
wrong for me to expect as a woman? I have a grown child. My son is 20, almost 23. I think he should be able to take out the trash
Yeah.
and mow the lawn
Yeah.
and shovel the driveway. That's a.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a double standard. I could totally do it. It's gonna hurt, but I
Yeah.
have this giant 20-year-old
Yeah.
strapping boy that could do it for me.
Well, do
Is
you
that a
think
double
that's
standard,
That's,
or
but that's
is
not
that
really a fair
hold
comparison,
on,
though,
but do
because
you
you're
think
talking about
that's
somebody that is like 20
you're,
years your junior.
yeah. But
yeah?
well, Deana, do you think that's what happens when you get married though with the woman, that like, okay, now these are things that like you're expecting us to do,
Well,
like
God,
you
I
just
would
said.
hope so because I'm not gonna fucking do them in addition to making you a goddamn sandwich.
Hey, Kevin,
Jesus.
do you really want to go out in that minus 20-degree weather and shovel the snow from the driveway, or would
I
you
mean,
rather have
absolutely
her
not.
do it? Would you rather have
Well, you
her
know
do
what?
it?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that, though.
Kevin's gonna go,
If
equality, bitch,
you're
get out there.
if you're will, I'm not saying that that's not equality. Equality can look like many different things. If you're going to expect me to go out and shovel the snow and mow the lawn, well then,
Yeah,
yeah, maybe
yeah,
you should be doing the laundry and cleaning the kitchen.
yeah.
I'm
There you go.
okay
Yeah.
with that. I don't have to go outside.
And
I can do
Yeah.
that.
and I'm not even trying to make the point that people don't do that, but I think
Yeah.
what happens with a lot of relationships is people don't have those conversations, and
Yeah.
then those expectations stop
And
being
it
met,
becomes right.
and then
It
people
becomes an
resent one another.
expectation.
Right.
Right.
Because
It becomes an expectation without having that conversation. And then the
Right.
moment one person falls short on their thing they're supposed to do, everybody has a hissy fit.
yeah, because that's what
Right.
happened
Right.
when I got home, and I'm like, what the fuck? The guard, it's coming out the top. It can't even close the lid anymore. She goes, well, we'll wait until you get home because that's your job. And I'm like, why is that my job? It's fucking 2 feet from the door. We're in a little apartment. We had a little side door. You open, the garbage can
Did
was right
you
there.
did you do the dishes? Did you make a sandwich?
No. See, that was something we were really good. We were that TV commercial that you see with a couples doing the dishes together. That's how we were. Like we'd eat dinner, and we would clean the dishes together and put them in the. Well, at that time, at that apartment, we didn't have the dishwasher yet, but we would put them in the tray.
Relationship goals. That's
Yeah.
never happened for me.
Yeah.
Ever.
No. We were
I
really good
mean,
because we both of us, but and even to this day, I cannot stand dishes in the sink, and I don't understand why people leave dishes in the sink for 2-3 days. With cheese and all this other stuff on it. And just grinding into the plate.
Rinse it off.
I mean, and
Jesus. Rinse it.
what we're talking about now, like these are like the big reasons why
Yeah.
people wind up getting divorced. Like
Yeah.
mismatched
Seriously.
expectations.
Yeah.
Like it is always you start to see creep, and it's like, if you have a conversation, equality can look like people dividing up the chores and doing them individually. Like, somebody
Yeah.
hates folding laundry, somebody hates doing the dishes. Okay, cool. I'll do that. You do this. That's equality. Or like John said, you do both of those things together, and that's
Right.
equality. But when things start becoming not equal, that's when
Yeah.
people start to get resentment, and then they
Yeah.
don't talk about that, and then they
Exactly.
get divorced.
Yeah.
And
You're
then they
right.
get
No, you're
divorced.
right on the money because
Exactly.
I think it's those little things that you end up not doing for each other that bring up the bigger things. And I think those bigger things should have been taught. Let's be honest, finances always seems to be number one when it comes to why two people have gotten divorced, because one's good at it, one
Yep.
isn't good at it. And that
Yeah.
has always been an issue, no matter what. But when you start adding those other little tiny things like Kevin's talking about, and you're not talking about those little tiny things, it just builds up and builds up and builds up.
Well, yeah,
And before,
because it turns into
Resentment
they
happens.
don't do this for
And
yeah,
me every day.
yeah,
They must not love.
yeah. And that's when the husband or the wife thinks the grass is greener on the other side of the fence.
it's
And really,
not. It's
that
the same
sandwich
color of
sucks too.
green.
Yeah. That guy waters his grass more. That's all. That's all that's happening over there on the other side of the grass.
Does it do it like this?
He's one. Deana,
What?
let's do your thingy.
All right. Let's do my thingy. I totally was not prepared for this.
What? What are you talking about? I love it. She goes, hey, this is my segment. Now she tells me
I'm not prepared for this. No, I read the article first, but I didn't take notes like I usually do.
Cliff
So,
notes. Cliff notes.
Cliff notes always, but not today. EliteDaily.com says 3 reasons guys lose interest in you and ghost you, according to a guy. And I need all of the input on this because I really want to know what your thoughts are.
All right.
Reason number 1 is you have too many expectations. So as a girl, you're doing the I planned my wedding a year in advance, or since I was 5. This is the man I think I want to marry. I'm trying to get into a pool of, and this is the number 1 reason why dates go south. Because the lady has too much expectations. Thoughts?
I don't know if
I mean,
that's
it's
a
true.
reason for me to ghost somebody though. I mean, we all
You're too polite, John.
huh? I
You're
don't
too
know. I
polite.
mean, I think if you know what you're getting into, like this is talking about deciding having kids and all that other stuff. I think you already kind of should have those conversations before you even start getting into a relationship, and you should have already made up your mind, you know.
But we're talking about ghosting people. Ghosting happens within like whatever the first 6 weeks of starting to
Yeah,
date.
For 6 weeks to 6 months.
So
So now we're talking like somebody felt feelings about being cornered or being trapped into a situation they weren't ready for.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I mean,
Ghost that bitch.
if you start dating someone and they start dumping on you about like, oh, and this is how my life, this is how I want my life to be. This is where I see myself in 5 years. This is how much money I want to make. This is how many kids I want to have. This is, where I want to go on vacation. Like that is a lot. And sometimes you're just like, nah.
Yeah.
How
lose
about
my number.
how about we just
lose my
don't do
number.
this again?
Yeah. Lose my number.
555. Nope.
Yeah. Give him the number to the Korean deli.
There used to be, do you remember there used to be a hotline, the rejection hotline? That was a thing in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Rejection hotline.
There was a thing, I'm not even making this up. There was a website that was the rejection hotline, and you could find a number to your area code that would just send you a recorded message that says, "You've been rejected."
Oh, shit. Hey, Kevin.
Kevin, did you get rejected?
Kevin,
at least
and
twice.
I'll ask you too, Deana. I'll ask you too, both of you guys, because I've done this, and I'm going to be honest. I've done. Have you ever given someone a fake fucking phone number because you just didn't want to talk to them? You just didn't feel it?
No, I've never done that.
Oh, no shit. I'm bad then. I'm terrible then.
I've never
been drowning in pussy enough to give a fake number.
Oh,
same. That's why.
You don't have to be drowning in it. You're just not into her, and you can see that's not going to work out. And she just kept pressuring you for your phone number, and you just give her a fake.
When you're walking through the desert, you don't turn down water.
Kevin, well, since you're going to Georgia, I might have a reason to come visit now, Georgia, because Tim and you will be in Georgia. So we'll get out there. I'll teach you the ways.
Let's plan a trip. Let's plan a trip to Georgia.
Georgia,
you're on your way.
Georgia. You got Georgia on my mind. Is that what the song I'm thinking?
Yes, that's the song you're thinking of.
The only one I know is that's the night that the lights went out in Georgia.
Yeah, the night the lights went out in Georgia. Hell yeah, that's a great song too. Number 2.
Cool. Number 2, you aren't compatible. What does this mean? Maybe sexual chemistry is good, but as people, you're fundamentally different. This is why you have to create a solid foundation to build a relationship on top of. This solid foundation is compatibility, and compatibility is, why is that word so hard to say? Compatibility.
It's the beer.
What does compatibility even mean? It means like, probably.
You just got to break it down. Got to say it like it's 3 words.
Compatibility.
I am not the only person on this show to ever mispronounce a 3 or 4 syllable word.
No way, you're not.
I know I'm not.
I had this thing on my tongue. I have this thing with my tongue. That's why I sometimes there's like
sometimes
yeah.
my mouth gets really dry and it's hard to say words.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
Sometimes sometimes
Yeah, my mouth. If my mouth isn't nice and moist, you know, sometimes I can't get those words out.
Also, I think that one's bullshit. Be an adult and fucking tell somebody you're not compatible. Don't ghost them over that shit.
That's not true. If you're not compatible, well, you're absolutely right. If you're not compatible, have a fucking conversation.
Yeah, but you know,
Don't
it's
just ghost
hard.
somebody
It's
that
hard,
way.
Kevin, that when you sense it, but that she thinks that you're just you're just perfect. That's the tricky
It's all
part.
the more reason to
Talk
tell them,
about it.
Again,
ghosting.
yeah, talk about it. Talk about it. Communication.
I don't like that word.
Communication.
I don't like that word, man.
I feel like that's a Gen X thing to do.
Nobody likes that word. That's why we got a fucking
There
high divorce
isn't
rate.
a single problem. There isn't a single problem in this whole world that can't be fixed with a good sandwich.
Yeah.
I
And
tell
you know
you
what we do
what,
instead? We
though.
fight wars.
I will
Sit
tell
down.
you this.
The Italians
I will
hand
say
the Italians hand the Germans a fucking Italian sub. The Germans hand them some schnitzel or whatever.
Schnitzels. I will say this. If you want to avoid this compatibility situation, have that conversation naked.
Yeah. Naked? Oh.
Yeah, naked.
That
I don't know what our chemistry is like. Naked.
I think that would get a lot of us in trouble at Starbucks.
Don't do it at Starbucks, you fucking weirdo.
Not only that, how many dude, a girl gets naked in front of me, I'm gonna say whatever I have to get to the finish line.
Yeah, I can see Kevin saying it's go time. Fucking
well, follow through on what you said naked. That's all
I see is
no.
A girl gets naked in front of Kevin. All I hear is Kevin's
right there.
Yeah. If a girl gets naked in front of Kevin, all I'm hearing is boys, start your engines. That's all I hear.
Seriously. Somebody gets naked in front of me.
All right. Can it turn into an
I'm with Deana, I'm with Kevin.
My solution.
I like your theory.
Solution.
Yeah. I like your theory, but I'm with Kevin. I'm the same way. If she's naked in front of me, I'm just there's no.
Here's my solution. Ready? You take turns. I'm angry. Shirt. This is why. Other shirt. And then it becomes like strip poker, but in an argument. Does that make sense?
And then you know what happens, Kevin? Angry
this
sex.
Is not a way this is a way that women use to win fights.
Yeah.
This is how women win fights. This isn't a way to have a conversation.
Yeah. She just walks. You're gonna take the garbage out and mow the lawn. No, she just walks back, flips her fucking shirt up, shows you her tits. The next thing you know, you're fucking digging a hole, fucking mowing the front lawn, doing the dishes.
Yeah.
And then she comes back. You come back inside, and she tells you she's got a headache.
No offense, Deana, that's a shit take. It's a shit take.
I'm still single, so I don't know how well that works. Just throwing that out there.
I'm sorry, got a headache, hon.
I got a headache. Here's some Malina.
If I'm out the lawn, you'd give me a blowy.
And then the guy turns into a little kid, you know. I mowed the lawn.
Oh my gosh.
And then Kevin, remember this one? I'm gonna die if I don't have sex. I'm gonna die.
Are we 19? Are we 14? Come on now, girl.
My balls are gonna fall off.
Are we 19? Are we 14? From the person advocating to use their breasts to end a fight.
Oh yeah.
I don't care. Never mind. Moving on. Number three, because it's only three. There's only three because I want to move on and I don't want to talk about this anymore. Things have gotten too comfortable. And that I feel is a two-way street.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's anybody's fault for being comfortable, but there's a level of mystery that needs to be maintained in a long-term relationship. I don't want to know about your farts in the toilet. Close the door when you're pooping.
Yeah. I think I didn't piss.
I thought Deana was talking about a completely different type of mystery.
Yeah, I don't think I peed in front of my wife until like maybe 3 or 4 years into our marriage.
Be a respectful human being too, okay? Like, why do we got to talk about this? Like,
I couldn't handle it anymore. She was
rude.
Yeah, I mean, she was in the shower, and I just walked in. I couldn't wait. I had to pee, and I peed. And she's like, "Are you peeing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got to pee, man. Fuck." But yeah, I think it was about 4 years into my marriage before I did that. No, I never took a shit in front of her. That's just not happening. No.
Yeah, no, don't do that stuff. Don't do that stuff. And again, communicate. Oh my God.
Yeah, communication. But again, like things have gotten too comfortable. And I mean, like how far into this relationship are you talking about that? And what kind
Yeah.
of it's because that's a big deal. I mean, if you're like on a first or second date and she's asking you some questions that are, maybe you shouldn't be asking on a second date or a first date and you feel uncomfortable, I get that. You might want to go somebody like that because maybe you feel it's going a little too fast and you feel uncomfortable about it. Yay, nay, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, she said if you start
absolutely.
feeling too comfortable, right? Not uncomfortable. If you start feeling too
too
comfortable.
comfortable.
Too comfortable. Like
Yeah.
I don't fucking care about my diet anymore. I'm not gonna wear a shirt to things. That kind of stuff. It's personal
I don't know.
experience. We've been together for 6 years and I gained 70 pounds. That's too comfortable.
Yeah.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
But that's also a conversation.
Yeah.
Had that conversation and now I'm single.
I don't like this conversation word. Like I said, everything in life could be fucking fixed with a simple sandwich. That's all I'm saying.
A sandwich.
Go ahead.
Or Nookie, just suck a good dick. Honestly,
Is there a number 4?
There's not a number 4. I did
okay.
see an article the other day. Just side note, the girls that enjoy head are probably more apt to be good in bed and enjoy a vivacious sex life. So get a girl that likes to suck your dick.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't hear that first part, so I'm like, okay, I get
Not
it.
that she does it for foreplay or she's doing it for a reason, for an
She just
ulterior
likes
motive.
it. She likes
She
it.
has to genuinely enjoy sucking your dick.
I mean, that's like, is water fucking wet? Like, come on. Like, of course they're going to be that way because they enjoy sex. Other people have sex because it's something other people do.
Yeah.
Some people enjoy sex because they like it.
Can you imagine just having sex just to have children? Can you imagine just having sex just to have children and never do it ever again? Just only those times. That would really fucking suck.
Yuck. No, thank you.
And you know what? But it doesn't work.
Yeah, there's just no way.
It doesn't work. Also,
yeah.
Sometimes you need a little protein.
Sometimes you need a little. I'm not going to say the P word.
Are we done yet?
Are we done yet? Yes, we
I
are.
can only imagine how many billions of my potential children have been killed.
No, Daddy. As they're going down the toilet, Daddy. And Kevin going, oh shit, that was a son. Fuck.
The knuckle children.
I thought we were still talking about blowjobs.
Yeah.
Those are going down the toilet too at the end of the day, my friend. It's the same thing.
Nothing better
at the end of the day. They're dead by then, though.
Yeah, nothing better than getting that while you're driving.
Unless she spits and
roadhead,
we have a conversation about ladies, if you're not swallowing it, where are
you? Nobody heard that. I didn't.
I didn't hear that.
Where are you putting it? If you're not swallowing it, where are you putting it? And how is that more hygienic?
They're reaching over, pulling up the window and spitting it off the balcony.
Yeah.
It's going in your back seat if you're pulling over.
Yeah. All right.
I'm done.
We're done. Great show, guys. I will start with Kevin. Kevin, did Kevin learn anything tonight?
No.
No. You had to. I did. I learned that Kevin likes the word conversation. He likes
and communication.
Yeah. Conversation.
Probably because I'm single for a long time and I just miss talking.
Yeah. Anything else? You learn anything else?
No.
I didn't. Yeah. Deana, did you learn anything tonight?
No, I didn't learn shit.
You didn't learn shit. Nothing about why you don't want to get married again. or
I
even
already
get
knew
married.
I didn't want to get married. What did you reaffirm some shit
How
I already knew?
now I'm going to ask you as a woman, all those things that we talked about, are those legitimate reasons you think that a woman should be thinking about before getting married?
You should be thinking about your sex life before you get married. That is my
Well, I'm going to use the ones they said: cost, women's roles, social norms, and childhood programming.
That's long term. In the
Yeah,
short
those are the four that we
term,
discussed. Those are the ones we discussed whether a woman should be deciding whether a marriage is something they should be getting into, or do they feel that
well,
a marriage
at
is
the end of the
overrated.
day, all three of those things can be done by a woman without needing a man.
Yeah.
You need to have a connection with your man. At the end
Mm.
of the day, you can discuss whatever needs to be discussed.
I wish I would have dug a little. I think I should have dug in a little bit more about what the guys' roles are in their head when it comes to marriage. I think that would make a little bit of difference. Putting them up against what these
Well, I mean, if you go with if you go with gender normative roles, then that is to
yeah,
be like provider and protector and head of the household.
right, yeah, that's just pretty much it. And I wonder if that is being still taught with this newer generation. That's
I
the alpha
certainly
generation.
hope not.
I mean, now there's from what I have been understanding, because I'd like to get into this topic maybe down the road, but alpha is becoming more of a conservative generation than say Gen Z is. They're becoming more of the old traditional conservative ways of thinking than say Gen Z and maybe even millennials. I mean, I know where my generation stands as far as of the way we were taught and what a man should be, but I think alpha is also becoming that generation where it's more conservative and being taught, and I think it may have a lot to do with this they, them, he, they,
them
whatever shit
situation.
that Gen Z
I
or that
I don't
Gen
This
Z
is
know.
is
I
not
trying
think
your
to.
opinion, but I kind of agree with that.
Yeah,
Everyone's a beta. These
yeah.
kids these days don't want to hurt each other's feelings.
Yeah. Well, I think alpha is living up to their name because I think they're wanting to be that alpha. Like that generation, men and women want to be the alpha. Where back in our days, it was the guy that was the alpha dog. He was the one that was running the household. He was the one making more money. He's the one, that got to come home, sit down and have dinner ready. All those great things like walk through the door and have my wife standing there with a drink in my hand and
I mean,
stuff like
but that that
If
that
my husband made enough money, the husband I don't have, I
that.
would absolutely have a full face of makeup on and be ready with an old fashioned and a gibber at the end of
Hell
the day.
yeah, baby. And
However,
a cheese
that is
casserole.
not the world we live in anymore.
Cheese casserole.
And
All
a
right.
cheese casserole.
Yeah, you're Wisconsin. Or cheese curls. What are they? Corals. What are they?
Cheese
Cheese.
curds.
Yeah. I want
hurts.
that.
Curds.
Curds. Yeah.
That's disgusting. That is
See,
not
John, now I got to take it back.
all
I
the
did
way
learn something
correct.
today.
You did? You learned something? What was it?
I learned that Dina secretly wants to be a trad wife.
Yeah. Yeah. She
You
wants to
missed
be a
the
Miss.
window,
She wants to.
Kevin. You missed it.
I can kind of picture. I can kind of picture Dina as like a Mrs. Cleaver.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You
Yeah.
can see Dina as Betty Homemaker?
Yeah, standing at the door waiting for her husband to come through with that drink in her hand. Yeah, I
If
can
it
see
meant
that.
I didn't have to have a fucking job, hell yeah.
I mean,
So,
that's the
Do I
problem. I
not
think a
have
lot
to
of
deal
men
with the
feel the
status
same way you
quo?
do,
hey,
Dina.
hey,
Gladly.
hey, Kevin, that's the dream, man. That's the fucking dream right there.
Are you fucking kidding me? Can I be the trad wife? Can somebody else go to work and I'll fucking keep the house? Jesus Christ.
I don't know if it's
I'll
sexy.
fucking
You
put on a
standing at the
dress
door.
and everything. Jesus.
No,
Don't
holding
wear a
the.
dress. Do you want to teach my son how to be a
I don't
man?
know.
I'm
I
living here
just
right now.
thank you, Kevin. I just pictured Kevin in a dress holding an old fashioned at the door while.
No dress. Did I not tell you about my ex-wife? Did we not have that conversation?
Oh, all right.
You
You
were.
guys look into the camera and you know what to say. Goodbye.
Bye.